Hello, I'm Jill at engVid, and a slightly different experience today as we're not in the studio with a whiteboard. But you may have seen a previous interview that we did a while ago, and we decided to do another interview today, partly because we're currently here in the UK still under partial lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to invite someone to be interviewed. And Hara has very kindly agreed. So welcome, Hara. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Jill.
Digitally, and thank you for being here, wherever here is. And so let's start. And would you like to tell us something about yourself, where you're from, your profession, how things have been going recently?
Yes. So my name is Hara. I am from Greece. My hometown is Thessaloniki, in the north of Greece. And currently I live in London. I'm working for NHS. I am one of the NHS researchers, and I specialize in dementia studies at the moment. And as you said, we are still currently in lockdown, so there are not a lot of things going on at the moment. So I try to enjoy some time with my dog. I try to take the time to do some things around the house. So yes.
Okay, that's great. So I would imagine that as you speak English very fluently, you must have been in the UK for quite some time already. So how long have you been in the UK?
It's gonna be 7 years this September. I moved into the UK in 2013 to do my master's degree. So it's been a long time.
Okay, wow, that's quite some time, and I think you've gone through a lot of changes and made a lot of progress in that time.
Indeed, yes.
Yes. And did you learn English in Greece, maybe at school originally?
Yes. English is taught as compulsory subject in public schools, and I started having English classes in primary school, I think 2nd or 3rd grade. And at the same time, it's very common people in Greece to have additional English classes in private teaching centers. So I did the same as well. So yes, I think during my all my education, English was one of the subjects that I had to do.
Yes, and was it a subject that you enjoyed, or did you find it difficult, or did you feel, just it came naturally?
Unfortunately, the English language classes in Greece are very based on textbooks, and they're very focused on the grammatical rules and the vocabulary. So it wasn't that easy in a way that you have to memorize so many grammatical rules. But and they're very focused on English grammar and spelling rather than be fluent. But I think, yes, it was a very interesting subject because, of the music and the movies. It was really nice to be able to understand English as a second language.
Yes, oh, that's great. Yes, and I think that's true in a lot of countries where they teach English, but it's mostly done from books. It's a lot of reading and writing and not so much speaking and listening.
Exactly.
English. So, okay. So, did you ever visit the UK sort of on holiday or anything like that before you came to actually live and work here? Did you come for a holiday just to, to see what it was like?
Yes, I visited London, I think 2 years before I moved in. So I think it was around 2011. And yeah, I just came as a tourist to see London and visit London.
Okay, and what did you think of it? Your first impressions?
Oh, I think I found it really busy, really crowded. Everything was in a very fast pace, and I was really impressed from the ethnical diversity. I could see around me people from all over the world just walking around, and I found it fascinating. But I think coming from a Mediterranean country, that it's more, everything's more slow, everything's more relaxed. I just found it very, very busy, crowded, and a bit like chaotic, especially in very popular places like outside the Buckingham Palace and all these tourist attractions. So, but it was very nice experience because after 2 years I moved in. So
Yes, great. And I also went, because I'm not from London originally. So when I first came to London from further north, I noticed immediately how people seemed to be walking more quickly. The traffic seemed to be moving more quickly. I thought, oh my goodness, I need to speed up to keep up
yes.
with this. So I had a
Yes.
similar impression, I think, myself. So, okay. So when you first came here to live and to study initially, was there a culture shock? What was it like when you first arrived to actually live here?
I think arriving to the airport, I was really overwhelmed. I felt exposed to so many different information and new information that I have to learn really quickly. I just felt that I'm really slow for the city, to be honest. But because I have traveled before, I was, and I have been here in the UK and in London before, I think it was a bit easier to adjust. And also because I traveled in the past in different countries. So I think it was fine, but I felt a lot of pressure to catch up with all these things around me. But yes.
Yes, I can imagine a lot of sort of, I suppose, documents and
Oh
things.
my God, yes, it was, yes. Now it sounds really funny because I use these things every day in my life. Like even just, apply for an Oyster card, it seemed such a big thing. But now I'm just like, I can't believe I'm using an Oyster card every day.
Yes, so the Oyster card that people use for traveling through
Yes,
the.
the student card that you just tap so you can go inside the underground station. Yes, so even that, it was on my list that I have to do. So
Yes, oh, it must have felt a bit overwhelming having a long list of practical things
documents and tasks, yes, that I have to do.
to
Yes.
be able to function each day and get places and do things. So yeah,
Yes.
wow. So okay, and then are there things that you like about the UK that maybe you don't have in Greece? Different things?
Oh, yes, of course. I think I really appreciate the fact that in the UK, there are so many career opportunities and you can do whatever you want to do. Even if you want to do it as a hobby, you can always find classes, you can always find new things to try. And there are so many, you have access to so many museums, art, you have access to festivals. And also, I think people in the UK, given that it's a multicultural country, they are more open-minded and you can be yourself. And I think that this is something that maybe in Greece, given that we don't have so many people from other countries, we're so used to see just Greek people around the city. But here in the UK, you can be yourself and you always feel welcomed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice to know. That's good because London is such a cosmopolitan
Yes,
place,
it is.
really. So, okay. So, but is there anything that you miss about life in Greece?
Of course, I miss the weather.
Yes.
Yes, I think no matter how many years I'm going to be in London or in the UK, I think I will always miss the weather, the Mediterranean food, and that, I mean, people are more relaxed. and they are more, you can feel like everyone is enjoying life a little bit more. I think people in the UK, they are very focused in their careers. They are very busy doing so many different things every day. But I think in Greece, we are a little bit more slow and relaxed. So yes, but I mean, it's, you know, two different countries, and yes, but the weather is always on the top of my list.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, we've been having quite nice weather recently, but it feels very unusual
And it feels weird in the UK. I can't really enjoy the same way I used to enjoy this warm weather in Greece. But yes, but of course, family and friends are in Greece. I always miss them. But yes.
And I think you're right about people in London. I think the word is driven. People feel driven. They're always pushing themselves, you know, to achieve the next thing. I think maybe outside London, in other places, maybe smaller towns or villages, there may be, you know, more relaxed atmosphere. But London being what it is, everybody's out there to, you know, get the next
achieve something. They're, yes, in a rush.
Pushed all the time.
Yes.
Some people like to be like that, but I think
yes,
we all need a bit of a break sometimes. We need to be able to relax occasionally. So
yes.
So okay, and so would you say then that there's a difference in personality really between people in the UK compared with people in Greece?
Yes, as I said, I think people in the UK are more open-minded. I think they're more used to be exposed to people from other countries. And also, again, as you said, I think they're more driven to achieve things. I think they're happy to talk about their careers, money, and the next step, and what job are you doing. So they're very interested in these things. I think in Greece, people are more relaxed. Everything is a bit slower, and people, they enjoy having just a coffee or lunch by the sea, and they after work. So it's very easy to see people after Greece to just pay for a coffee. I think here it's more different. You have to plan it a little bit. You have to make a booking. You know, I think everything here is a bit more, has to be more organized and planned, given the distance as well in London. If you want to meet someone, they need to know the time of the commuting. Where do you live? Where your friend lives? In Greece, we don't have these problems, so it's easier.
Right, okay. So when you first came to the UK, you came initially to study. You said you came to do a master's degree. So did you have to first take any sort of like an IELTS exam to get a certain level in IELTS to be able to study at a UK university?
Yes, exactly. As you said, I first came to do my master's degree in Southampton. So I lived there for almost a year. And then I came to London for my PhD. And of course, I have to pass the exam, the IELTS in Greece, because it was one of the entry requirements to apply for my master's degree. And yes, I think I did a couple of months before I started my applications to this.
Right. Okay. So you did your IELTS in Greece rather than.
Yes, I did my IELTS in Greece.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Lovely. So then you came and you were at Southampton for your masters, which is on the south coast, isn't it?
Yes.
Coast of England, for anyone out there in another country who doesn't know. So what was it like, Southampton? What was Southampton like as a place?
I think it was a very nice place to start with my experience in the UK. It was a very smooth transition from me coming from Greece. to the UK. So I think it was a very wise choice of me to not do my master's in London and go to Southampton, so I can have a more, first of all, less expensive start in the UK, and then also be more relaxed in a smaller city full of students from all over the world. And yes, I think it was a very nice. It is a very nice city.
Okay, yes. So then you came to London then after the first year? You
Yes,
came
yes.
to do your PhD?
Yes, I finished my master's, and then I got a scholarship in the university in London to do my PhD, and then I stayed. The plan was to stay, for 3 years to finish also my PhD, but then I got a job in NHS. So yes.
Okay, so had you sort of thought that far ahead about thinking you would do two postgraduate degrees and then get a job, or had you planned that, or is it just how it worked out?
No, I never planned it. I mean, I just came for a year to do my master's and then go back to Greece. And then I really liked the part of conducting my own research. So I really enjoyed the part of writing up my thesis and doing my own piece of research. So I found out that if I do a PhD, it's 3 years of doing my own research. So I applied, I got the studentship, and I thought, yes, of course, why not? I'm just going to stay 3 years more. And then one thing led to another. And then I really, I thought, okay, I'm just going to try to apply for a job. I really wanted to have a job in NHS and work in the research department. And yes. So I never planned it, but yes, 7 years later, I'm still here.
That's amazing. So it's all worked out really well. And the NHS, National Health Service, which the UK is sort of rather famous for because
Yes.
it's a government supported health service. It's not a private health service. Everyone has access to it. So
Exactly.
it's one of the things that the UK is very proud of. And of course, it's been incredibly important recently during the pandemic. People have, I think, realised again just how important it is to have this NHS service that we have, and the people working, doctors and nurses, especially on the front line.
On the line, yes, exactly.
Absolute heroes, and it's great that you're also able to make your contribution as well through research, which will benefit people for many years to come, I'm sure. So
yes, I'm really grateful. For and I'm really honored to be part of NHS and be one of the people that I'm working for the research department, and I contribute, as you said, in even a tiny bit of the research that is happening out there for the people with living with dementia. So yes.
Yes, and because dementia is increasing as well, as we have an older population, gradually the average age gets older. So, it's an important thing to have research on. So that's great. Thank you. So I guess I'm sure that you probably feel that your English must have improved a huge amount over the years, because you'll have had so much more opportunity for conversation and for speaking and listening. So I guess these things happen very gradually. So I don't know if you can tell, there's some area that you feel so much more confident in now. But can you say a little bit about how your English has improved over the years and how that's happened?
Yeah, of course. I think, as you said, it's something that is happening gradually. I didn't wake up one day and I realized, oh my God, I'm speaking English. And of course, I'm still learning, and I will always continue learning. But I think I'm really proud of myself that I am able to speak a little bit compared to the past fluently. And also, I'm not that shy to introduce myself or do a presentation or join a conversation. I'm more confident to speak to other people. And I think being exposed to so many different experiences living in the UK, I think my vocabulary is better now. And I have read, even just reading an article in the newspaper, I'm still learning new things, new words every day. And yes, I think that's the things that I realize, especially when my family visits. When my family visit, it's more obvious for them that, oh my God, you speak English so good. And I'm like, yes, do I? But because I don't realize that there is a progress. I'm sure there is a progress, but
It's something that happens so gradually that it's hard for for you to notice, of course.
yes.
And I think a lot of people say that when at some point they realise, my goodness, I'm not just speaking in English, I'm thinking in English
Thinking
as
in
well.
English, exactly.
You found that happening at some stage.
Yes, I definitely, when it's everything work related, or everything that has to do with if I go to the bank or if I go for shopping, I think my brain thinks in English. Of course, when I go back to Greece or when I speak in Greek, it's definitely Greek. But yes, I can see that everything work related, I can only think and speak in English. I think I found it so hard to explain things I do in Greek because I'm so used to present myself as an NHS researcher and talking about my research in English that when I go back to Greece, I'm trying, oh my God, I don't know how to explain this.
Um,
So yes.
yes, that's a good point. So your technical vocabulary is, in
Yes.
English anyway. So I can imagine that must be tricky to try to
Yes.
it into Greek. Yes. Um, so, what would you say? What's the most difficult thing about the English language in your experience?
I think the hardest part was the pronunciation because even if sometimes I know what the word means and I can spell it correctly and I can use it correctly, when I try to pronounce it, because you have so many silent letters, I'm getting really confused, and I especially when I'm talking really fast or I'm nervous, sometimes my pronunciation is not that good. And also being able to understand so many different accents, because you meet people from all over the world, everyone has a unique accent. And even people in the UK, British people, depending where they live in the UK, they have a different accent. So yes, I think that was the hardest thing about the English language that I have to experience.
Yes, yes, that's true. That even within the English population, there's a wide range of accents. And as you say,
Yes.
you get other accents from other countries in London. And also, yes, English spelling, it's crazy.
Yes.
The English spelling, it doesn't give you any clue uh,
No.
about, about how to pronounce a word. It's not phonetic. It's
No, it's not.
it's such a mixture that you almost have to learn each word separately and how to pronounce it.
Yeah, there
So,
is no rule for the pronunciation. So,
no, that's right. So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about coming to the UK to live and work, or to live here and study? What sort of advice would you give?
I would definitely suggest, just if it's possible, to visit. with friends or family. If you want to visit the city that you're planning to study or the city that you're planning to move in, that will be great. I think it will be so much easier. So because sometimes when you don't know where you're going, you imagine things and you're getting really intimidated about the unknown. But if you go there and you see the city, you realize it's not that scary, and maybe it's going to be easier for you to imagine your life there. And also, I think now that there are so many YouTube videos about English language, you can see vlogs of other people visiting the city that you're planning to live. So I think you can do your own homework and you can watch a couple of videos. You can watch a couple of videos around English language and accents, and also just practice your English. I think I would suggest use English subtitles when you watch a movie. And if you have friends that you can do a Skype or a Zoom meeting or anything like that, that you can speak English, I think it's very, very helpful.
That's really helpful advice. That's true. And to actually just use the language and say it. Even I say to people, just talk to yourself in English.
Yes, I used to do that. I used to read aloud a book, a newspaper, something that I could find online, just to get used of my voice also. Because people sometimes, they are so shy, and I think the more you speak English, the more you're exposed to English. I think it's easier. But I think people nowadays, they have the social media, and YouTube is a platform that people, they use a lot, sometimes even more than TV and anything else. So I think nowadays it's much easier to get an idea about English and the life in the UK.
Okay, well, that's really helpful. Thank you. So, okay, well, Hara, it's been really fascinating and very enjoyable to hear your thoughts and information about your experiences in the UK. And I'd like to wish you well with all your ongoing work. And also, let's hope we get out of this lockdown soon and hopefully, start to get back to some sort of normality. And I know you've been able to work from home during the lockdown, so you've been able to continue with your work, which is good.
Yes, I was one of the lucky ones, and I'm really grateful that I have the chance to stay home, be safe, and work from home. Yes. And nowadays people are using a lot of online programs, and it's much easier to do things online. So yes, so I'm still working from home.
That's great. Well, all the best with your ongoing work and everything that you're doing and all your interests as well. So, and thank you so much for taking time to come and to chat with me and help us to make this interview possible.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm really happy that I had the chance to do this interview with you, and I'm really happy if I can help anyone with my interview. If someone says something or hears something that they find it interesting or helpful, I'm glad if I can help anyone with this interview to motivate them to live in the UK or study in the UK.
Okay, that's lovely. Thanks very much, Hara. You're very, very welcome. So thank you for being here. So just to say to everybody watching, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please have a look at that. There's another interview that we did some time ago, which was also someone talking about what it's like to come and work in the UK. So do look out for that. We have another couple of interviews in the pipeline, so please look out for those as they come through. And also, if there are any questions you'd like me to ask people in the future, if we carry on doing interviews like this, please put in the comments section on YouTube or on the engVid website. Please let us know if there are any particular questions you'd like us to ask. So, okay, so there we are. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.